What's going on, guys? Tyler here from Audioholics Anonymous, and today I am here with you for a very special vinyl update video. I have a lot to go through today because this is after Christmas and I got quite a few vinyl records for Christmas and, through Christmas sales and things like that, things that I picked up here and there, so I'm just going to get right into it. But before that, I would like to start by telling you about a record I forgot about in my last video. So, just to set the scene a little bit, okay, I live about 2 miles away from my work, okay, and so I often walk because I don't have transportation all the time and I can't drive. So one day I was walking to pick up my fiance who happens to also work there, and I happened across a vinyl that was just lying in the middle of the street. That would be this record right here. Yeah, I haven't really played it because I'm sure it doesn't play very well. But it was literally just sitting on the street, like literally just laying there like this. And it turns out to be the best of the Kingston Trio Volume 2, the Kingston Trio. I don't know who the Kingston Trio are. Apparently they're all right. I need to really thoroughly clean this record, but I don't really have anything to put it in. The only thing I could find near the record sitting on the road was this, which I think is supposed to be the back of the sleeve. But, yeah, so I just had to tell that story because it's just crazy that I just found a vinyl sitting on the side of the road. Like, what? Anyway, to get into the actual update with all of the records that I got, starting with Presents by Led Zeppelin. Now, some of these I got from the $1 bin because they were bargains, and this is one of them. The actual sleeve is obviously very in rough shape. You can't even really see the album art on the front. The back looks okay, though. The back doesn't look too bad. The record itself looks fine, by the way. I checked it out before I bought it. Presence is one of my favorite Zeppelin albums, maybe even my personal favorite. Not huge on Physical Graffiti. Led Zeppelin 4 is alright, maybe a little overrated. This is what the record looks like. It's got this neat little, illustration in the center, and it's only got like a scratch here and there. Nothing that is going to too badly impact your listening experience. And I got it for $1, so even if it did, it's better than nothing for $1, right? So yeah, Presents Led Zeppelin. Pretty happy about that one. Alright, next we have, also from the $1 bin, Uriah Heep, The Magician's Birthday. Some of you might know I'm a pretty big fan of Demons and Wizards by Uriah Heep, but I really haven't checked out too much of their other stuff. And from what I understand, this is a pretty good album in the same sort of vein as Demons and Wizards. So I am excited to listen to it. Again, the record's in pretty good shape. Nothing too bad about it. In fact, I didn't even really see any scratches. So this is a pretty good condition record from the $1 bin. I'm pretty happy about that one. And next, also from the $1 bin, when I'm very confused as to why this one was even there, because it's basically new, Phil Collins, No Jacket Required. Like I said, this is almost a brand new record. There's nothing on the record itself. It's completely clean, scratchless. The inner sleeve here isn't that bad. It's maybe got one tear, but that could just be from opening it. There was no plastic on it or anything, but this is very smooth. It feels new, right? It feels like I just opened it. So I'm kind of confused as to why that was there. I guess people just don't like this record very much. I, for one, do. Not a huge fan of Phil Collins in general, but I really like this album. Alright, so next we have, I believe, our final $1 bin vinyl, and this is Ted Nugent's self-titled debut album. I'm pretty sure it's just Ted Nugent, right? I think so. The sleeve here is in pretty bad condition, the cover, but I mean, you can still tell what it is. It's not completely ripped like the Presence album was. But the vinyl, again, the vinyl itself looks fine. There's nothing wrong with it from what I can tell. I haven't spun it yet, but I'm not the biggest diehard fan of Nugent anyway. I just really like this album, so decided to pick it up. And actually, I'm lying. I think there is two more $1 bins in here. Not this next one, though. This next one I got for Christmas. It is Judas Priest's Painkiller, which is one of my favorite Priest albums. I'm a pretty big proponent of this album. I know some people really consider it to be overrated. I don't understand why those people are still living, because this is just an absolutely fantastic record. And like, I really like how in the inside here, or you can't see it on this side, you can see like the album art with the motorcycle. That's fucking cool. But yeah, pretty big fan of Priest, I think. But I really love this album, so I'm happy to have it. All right, next we have another one that's kind of like worse for wear, but the vinyl itself is perfectly fine. This is again from the Dollar Bin. This is Rush's Exit Stage Left. Now this is a great live album. This is just a fantastic live album. You've got a Spirit of Radio, Red Parchetto, YYZ, A Passage to Bangkok, Closer to the Heart, Beneath, Between, and Behind, Jacob's Ladder, probably my favorite song from that record, Bruin's Bane, The Trees, Xanadu, Free Will, Tom Sawyer, and finishing off with La Via Strangiato, which is one of the best instrumentals of all time. This is what the back looks like. You can see the 2112 symbol. I think this is supposed to be the dude from Hemispheres, probably, Moving Pictures. Yeah, I'm pretty happy. I'm stoked to have this. Even if the gatefold is in kind of rough condition with these tears and things, but I'm okay with that. You know, to just have this record is good enough for me, and maybe if I find a better version of it for cheap, I'll pick it up. But for $1, there's a little dirt on it, but it needs a little cleaning, but once I clean it, like, it's gonna play fine. I am happy to have this. Alright, so next I have two Deep Purple albums that I got for Christmas, and I think they are pretty interesting. I haven't heard of them before. Starting with Deep Purple in live concert at the Royal Albert Hall Concerto for Group and Orchestra composed by John Lord. Here you go. Now this is interesting because from what I understand, they don't actually play any Deep Purple songs on the set here. This is something completely made with the orchestra and the band together. So of course you've got Ritchie Blackmore, who is a neoclassical guitar player. You've got Ian Gillan as a vocalist. Like this, how can this be bad? This has got to be just absolutely awesome. So I'm really interested to listen to it and see what it's like. Kind of wish like Metallica had done something like this. But given the fact that this is like unknown, I've never even heard of it, I can understand why they probably didn't. Okay, so next I have the Book of Taliesin by Deep Purple. This is pre-Ian Gillan Deep Purple. It's got Rod on vocals, Ritchie Blackmore on lead guitar, of course, Ian Pace, I believe, on drums, Nicky something on bass guitar and a little bit of vocals, and some guy named John on organs and also vocals. I'm interested to hear this album because I have actually... Okay, admission time. I've never listened to pre-Ian Gillan Purple because I've always heard it's generic, it's not very good. But this, look at it. It looks so interesting. So I'm really looking forward to listening to this and making up my own mind on it. Either way, I'm happy I own it. So yeah. All right. Next, I got one that I picked up at a place called Salamander Books, which is like this used books and music store in town. Asia. Alpha. I'm actually a pretty big fan of like later Asia albums because I think they're sort of different from the first one. The first one isn't as like poppy, but I think when they embraced their sort of more poppy side and continued with the more progressive elements in that poppy side, they made like something that is unique called progressive pop. And I haven't really heard a lot of things like that. And so this is like one of the only examples I can think of. And you know what? Do you think it's the best thing ever made? I don't, but it's still really cool, and I am happy to own it. All right, speaking of things that are not the best ever made, but I'm still happy to own it, Blue Oyster Cult's Mirrors. This album is not all that great, But it does have a few amazing songs on it. Dr. Music, that is a good song. The Great Sun Jester is a fucking phenomenal song. And of course, one of the best Blue Oyster Cult songs, The Vigil. That song kills. This has some really good stuff on it. It's not all shit. And honestly, like, even the not as good songs like Lonely Teardrops or I Am the Storm, they're not that bad. I think the title track is that bad. But You're Not the One I Was Looking For is also not great. But overall, it's a pretty fun album, and I was going to get it eventually, so I'm happy I have it. Alright. Next, we have another one that I got for Christmas. Metallica, Ride the Lightning, baby. Yeah, I'm pretty happy to have this one now. Ride the Lightning is one of my favorite albums of all time. You know, whether or not it's my favorite Metallica album on this given day of the week, that is something we can debate. Also, look at this like really cool center thing. That's something we can debate, but I personally think that either way, it's awesome to have it on vinyl, and there's this like really cool lyric sheet in here too. So yeah, awesome. Probably be spinning this a lot. So next we have a really interesting one. This is another one I got for Christmas, but I had never heard of the band, and neither had the person who got it for me. So I'm not really sure where they got it from, but it is a band called Black Moth, and the album is called Anatomical Venus. Now, I had no idea what to expect, but from this album cover, you're either thinking alt-rock or, like, death metal, or something along those lines, like Marilyn Manson type stuff, gothic metal maybe. But I was not expecting to hear doom metal, because that's what this is. This is doom metal. This is Black Sabbath fan fiction. In fact, this band, if you research them, was originally a Black Sabbath cover band and all, with a female singer. That's how they started, and I'm aware that they are broken up now, which is sad, because I think I'm a fan. I also got this like really cool cloudy vinyl with it, and there's a poster in here too. I'm not going to take it out though. So yeah, I'm really happy to have this album, because I'll probably listen to it a few times more, and I might even check out some of the band's other stuff, because it's really just well done. Alright, the next album's another one I got for Christmas. I couldn't be more excited to have this one. My very first System of a Down album on vinyl. Yeah, baby. System of a Down. I am a big proponent of this band. I really like System of a Down. They're one of my favorite bands of all time. Logan's too. He has more of these albums than I do. This is my first System of a Down album. And, you know, the, like, thing in the middle is kind of interesting. It's got, like, symbols all around it. Probably the band themselves did that. I mean, if you've listened to System of a Down, you shouldn't be surprised. There's this, like, really cool sleeve in here. Yeah, it's really cool to have this album. I am going to listen to this one a lot, too. I love Toxicity. Great album. Alright, that brings us to one I got today, also at Salamanders. $1 Billion Babies by Alice Cooper. This one is... never heard of it. I've actually never heard this album, I'll have to admit. It's embroidered, actually. If you touch it, like, you can feel, like, the texture. It's embroidered. It's pretty cool. But, yeah, I'm interested to hear this album because I've heard it's very good. I've heard it's possibly his best album. I'm not the hugest Alice Cooper fan. I am a passing fan. I enjoy some of his albums. I enjoy some of the moments on other albums, but I'm interested to see where this one stacks up. So yeah, again, happy I have it. Got it for real cheap. Can't complain. So this next one I got for my fiance because she is a relatively big fan of Elvis. We have the Volume 3 Elvis Golden Records, which has It's Now or Never, Stuck on You, Fame and Fortune, I Gotta Know, Surrender, I Feel So Bad, Are You Lonesome Tonight, Mary's the Name, His Latest Flame, Little Sister, Good Luck Charm, Anything That's Part of You, and She's Not You on the record. And I think that it's cool to have some Elvis. I'm not a huge Elvis fan myself. You know, everybody's heard Hound Dog. Everybody's heard, like, you know, the big songs. Everybody's heard them. And that's fair enough. That is fair enough. But, you know, it's just not for me. You know, I don't know. His music, I just don't enjoy very much. But, you know, wasn't for me, so. You know, it is for me, though. Mastodon, Crack the Sky. And this is a very interesting album for Mastodon. Mastodon were always kind of proggy, but this album is straight up fucking progressive metal. It is wanky as hell, and I love the shit out of it. This album is 300 billion times the album Leviathan wishes it was. This is a fucking amazing progressive metal masterwork. And I am beyond hype to have it on vinyl, people. It's so cool to have it. And, like, the midsection of the record here, let me, like, pull it up, has this, like, really cool brown thing going on, and the black thing going on the other side. Really stylish. I'm big fan of the way this is packaged, and I really like it, and I cannot wait to listen to the whole thing on vinyl. So this next one is, again, one that's more so for my fiance. It is Kiss, the Originals, and basically this is a compilation of the first 3 Kiss albums. So it includes all 3 Kiss albums, the first 3. It has all of them inside here. And there's little replications of the cover art in there. This one over here, which I think is the 3rd one, is missing, but the other 2 are there. You can see them on the back. It's the entire records, and that's pretty cool. I got this one. This is the real final one from the $1 bin. I got it from the $1 bin, and this usually goes for like $40. And yeah, I get it's in kind of rough shape, but it should still go for more than $1 when there's 3 records in here, right? Either way, I got it for a mean price, and my fiance is probably going to be very happy about that. Not a huge Kiss fan myself, but, you know, again, not for me. So next we have Close to the Edge by Yes. Now, my other copy of this record is actually warped, so when I saw this one sitting there for, what, $5, $6, I had to get it. You know, I had to get it because it's in very good condition, and that one is warped, so I can't listen to it. And now I can listen to this, so I'm pretty happy I have it now. It's a nice replacement for that. All right, and next I have Sorceress by Opeth. This is my first Opeth album on vinyl. I'm very excited to have it. This is not my favorite Opeth record by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, I'd never even heard it before getting this vinyl record, but I can say I am satisfied. I enjoyed it. It's not my favorite, but I am happy I have it. There's some really good stuff on here. Persephone / the title track. I really like Chrysalis. You know, some really, really good stuff on here. So, really great album. Happy to have it. So next we have Brain Salad Surgery by Emerson, Lake and Palmer. And this is just a prog rock must. You know, if you're into prog rock, how can you not like Brain Salad Surgery? This is just a classic album. You know, I do personally think that it might drag a little, but it has been a while since I've heard it, so I'll have to listen to it again, give it another thought. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Happy I have it. There you go. Got it for pretty cheap too. It was only $4. All right, next we have UK by UK. I think this is the only album they ever put out. I could be wrong. I'm not hugely familiar with UK as a band. I know that they are 80s prog rock, and that's something I'm not too familiar with, 80s prog rock, like UK, Marillion, those types of bands. Something I probably should get more into, but yeah, I think I'm interested to hear it and listen to it and really unpack it. And I'm hoping I really like it. So, the final 2 I have here are probably the ones I'm most excited about. So I'm going to start with the newer one, which is an EP, and then I'll go into the newer, like, full LP. So, the newer one that came out last year that's an EP is Candlemas The Pendulum. Like when this EP came out, I was very disappointed in it because I was expecting more of a regular EP with more than like one actual song on it. Because if you actually look, there's only one actual song on it. There's The Pendulum, and then Snakes of Goliath is an unreleased demo, so it's not really a finished song, and you could hear that in the mix. And Porcelain Skull is the other one, which again, it's a demo. It's not like an actual song yet. It's not completely finished, and you can tell based on the mix. And, you know, I enjoyed all three of those tracks, but Sub-Zero, Aftershock, and The Cold Room, which are the other tracks on this, are just like transition tracks that they didn't include on the album. I was just confused with what this was when it first came out. I was like, really? You're just going to put out one song, a few demo tracks, and then some transition shit? What? What is this? But you know what? I listened to it on vinyl, and you know, I take all that back. I think it really works as an EP. It works as a solid piece of music. You've got The Pendulum, which is a great track to start the album off of, and you go right into Snakes of Goliath, which is another great song. Again, the mix is a bit of a drawback, but it's not as offending to me on vinyl, actually, for some reason. Sub-Zero and Aftershock are nice sort of like instrumental tracks, and they don't really offend me as much as they did when I first listened to this EP. Porcelain Skull I still don't really like, but The Cold Room's a nice way to exit the album. So yeah, overall I'm pretty happy that I have this. I probably won't listen to it much, but I am happy that I have it. Also, just because I think it's pretty cool, look at this, like the middle. That's cool. And finally, we have the full LP that came out in 2019. The Pendulum EP came out in 2020. This came out in 2019, the full LP, The Door to Doom by Candlemas. And this is actually a gatefold, too. It's not just, you know, a sleeve. It's what the back looks like. It's pretty cool art, I think. Pretty cool, like, minimalist type stuff. Yeah, this is a fucking amazing album. Hands down. I mean, look at the track listing. You've got Splendor, Demon, Majesty. I can't do it. Under the Ocean. Astoralus with fucking Tony Iommi doing a solo, man. That's fucking awesome. Bridge of the Blind. Great fucking song. Death's Wheel. Oh, that riff. Fucking Black Trinity. House of Doom. And finally, the masterwork Omega Circle. Fucking amazing, amazing doom metal. This is top tier stuff. Okay? If I were rating this album, it would easily be a 9+ out of 10. Okay? This is a fantastic release, and again, I know I've said that a lot, but I am so happy to have it on vinyl finally, and I hope to get more Candlemas in the future. Alright guys, I told you it'd be a little bit of a long one today. I hope you enjoyed looking at all of the new records I got. I'm certainly, I really enjoyed talking about them. I'm tired now because that took forever, but yeah, so without further ado, I bid you adieu. Bye-bye.